younger and struggled my whole life to find a way to feed my family and legally, I should say. And when I figured it out, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because I literally went from bankruptcy to retirement in 30 months. And when I say retirement, man, I had over 35,000 a month in passive income, meaning cash flow left. And so I realized that the reason I didn't know that before is because they don't really teach that stuff nowhere. Because if they taught it in all reality, why would you guys work for somebody else? Right? Now, there's reasons that you work for other people. Some people love what they do. But a lot of times, man, we work for these companies that don't care about us. They don't care about our family. They don't care about the purpose. Then you have bosses who don't listen to you. So these are the people that I'm really talking to. So I have created this. I've created a course, mini course for you guys, and I kind of want to go through this, and then we don't have to go through all of it. But at the end, if you guys want it, I'm going to give it to you for free. I'm going to give you free access. And was anybody here last week that got the mini course? Nobody at all? So I was hoping to have some questions. So what I'm going to do at the end of this call, I'm going to give you guys, because we may not finish all of it, but it's very powerful. You know what? Let me send this to you real quick, man. So I had a girl today, somebody that's in our mentorship. And Val, let me send this to you real quick. Can you pull this up?
Yep.
Let me just make sure she's okay. I asked her if she mind if I share this here. This is somebody who joined our private mentorship 17 months ago, maybe 18. Thank you, Nate. We would be honored. Okay. So I just sent that to you. Can you share that?
Yep. Give me one sec. I'm just
So look, the stuff that I'm gonna share with you guys tonight, man. I'm just here to help you guys, man. And so, depending on what you need in the mentorship is going to depend on, kind of where you're at, right? We have different mentorships. We have stuff that we can give you free trials to. This course that I'm going to give you guys tonight is absolutely free. It's really good too, but it doesn't go into holding your hand and doing all this other stuff. But look what Michelle Marion said here. She joined 17 months ago. She was really just she was a property manager, and for 19 years. And, I had her on my podcast because that's all I do is my students on podcasts, because we got so many people that, literally, man, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds and hundreds of people that have become millionaires. Oh my God, today is not a normal closing day. Today, December 10th, 2024. That's today, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's today. At 11 a.m., we became millionaires. How'd she do that in 17 months? So I've seen people do it in 7 months. My son's going to do it in 9. Thank you to everyone for your love, encouragement, support, and the knowledge shared in this group. Nate Barger, Jarius Dewar. This is an exceptional community, and we can't thank you enough for creating it. And that is Ken and Michelle Marion, right? She had a rough. Thank you. You can take that off now. Yep. That's me in December 2025. It can be. Everybody in here, man. There's no doubt about it. But the very first thing I need you guys to get out of your mind is it going to be easy? Look, if that's your first question, man, we got to work on your mindset. Okay? No, hell no, it's not going to be easy, man. But what's easy? It's going to be a lot easier than working for somebody for 40 years. I can tell you that. But what hard means is that you're growing. And so when we talk about growing, hey, can you guys, anybody else take their cameras off? I know you're going to lock it here in a minute or two. But can you guys just, man, thank you guys. When we talk about hard, I guess I was just conditioned a little different, right? 18 years old, I'm in prison, right? At 14 years old, I was sent to an orphanage, right? At 4 years old, my father hung me over a dam by my ankles. I thought he was going to kill me. So, what are you comparing your hard to, man? If you're comparing your hard to like my Wi-Fi slow, like I ask my kids, like, what are you guys gonna say when you get older? Like the roughest part about your life? They said my Wi-Fi sucked, right? So think about perception. And so what a lot of people don't realize is that you come from a place of scarcity and not a lot of money. You got something in you, man, that people with money can't get. That's motivation. That's hustle. Like my son, if he comes up here, how you guys talk to him? He's gonna be a millionaire in 9 months. But he told me, he said, Dad, it's hard for me to get motivated to become a millionaire in 9 months. I said, why? He said, because Dad, I already like live in a multi-million-dollar house. I drive your Bentley whenever I want it. I already got everything. So think about that, man. Sometimes you lose stuff by having stuff that you can never get back. See, you guys can get money, but my son can't get that motivation. He can't get that hunger. He can't get that desire. I was talking to one of my friends today that's getting ready to run for U.S. Senate. And he's Hispanic American. And when he was 10 years old, he was living in a storage unit with his mom, pissing and pooping in a bucket. And today, man, the guy's worth a ton of money. He's got a construction company. He's got his own tequila company. He's got his own bourbon company. Everything, man. He's on fire. He's crushing it. But he said when he was 10 years old, he was in Florida living in this storage unit. He said when I realized it was dysfunctional, and I called my dad. And so he came to Ohio, where his dad lived at, in a 2-bedroom mobile home. And he was like, oh, man. So see, that's a different mindset. Because most of us would be like, a mobile home, that ain't nice. To him, it was nice because he came from a storage unit with no running water. So it's all perception. So when you guys say, is it going to be easy? Like, stop. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. I don't even care about easy. What I care about is, what are you doing this for? Who are you doing this for? You got to remember who you're doing this for. And when you remember who you're getting ready to give up on, hopefully you make a decision that I'm not going to give up on them. And I'll show you this picture of my son if I can find it, but I always remember I saved it as my screensaver. And I wanted to give up real bad. I wanted somebody to blame why I was broke, why I lost everything, why I went bankrupt. I wanted somebody to blame. The economy was bad. Anybody ever been through that before? You feel like you was failing and you was looking for somebody to blame? Like, I couldn't be that stupid. Like, that was me. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, but I know what that feels like. And I had to pull myself together because I saw my son looking at me. And I was 38 at the time. And I realized, I said, you know what? If I give up right now, I was 38. I was just coming out of bankruptcy. And I was like, if I give up right now, my son who's looking at me right now has to go through an orphanage, has to go to prison twice. He has to get 4 felonies, probably 20, 30 arrests. He has to go bankrupt just to get in the spot that I am right now. And I was like, I don't know if he can make it through that. So I was like, you got to push it, bro. And that's what really drove me. Them 30 months, it was hard. It was hard because I didn't have a guiding light. I didn't understand the stuff that I'm going to share with you guys today. I didn't understand how economics work. I didn't understand how banking worked. You know, I was from the street. So all I understood was how to make money selling drugs and how to spend money buying flashy things. Because see, you're a drug dealer, you don't know like investing at. How are you gonna invest? How are you gonna buy a property? Like literally, right? Well, there is a way, but I'm not gonna go into that. But what I'm telling you guys is this, man. You guys have the internet and all this information. Pick 1 or 2 people to follow. Don't follow 20. Follow somebody that's had success. Follow somebody that's where you want to be, right? It's like if I mentored people on how to lose weight, I wouldn't be your guy. I just wouldn't. I mean, look at me, man. Don't come over here and expect to lose no weight. If y'all want to get this money, got you. So Val, let's go ahead and jump in, pull up this mini course. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys access to this later on. And then we're going to go through some of this here. We're probably going to skip some of it. We're not going to get through all of it, but I want to get through a chunk of it so you guys can understand what we're doing. I'm also going to give you guys, I'm going to show you how to find off-market deals. I'm going to give you guys, we got a free trial set up with them too. I'm going to give you access to that. And I'm going to show you what you're looking for. So this is what it's going to look like when you go in there. So it's going to ask you for your email and your just going to ask you for your email and stuff, because you're going to have to create a login on this account that we got here. Then you'll have your own login. So we don't have to go through the intro. Start with the end in mind. Let's go with start with the end in mind.
All right, Nate, do you want it at 1x?
Let's do a 1.25.
Got it.
Welcome back, Future Millionaires. The reason that I greet you as the Future Millionaires is because I know that you can do it. A lot of us have had people around us that drag us down. You may feel different. You may feel like, Nate, look, man, I never felt like this corporate job was good for me, or going to college, but this is what I was told to do by society, by your parents, by whoever. Look, most of the time, unless you're around people that really have exploded and become wealthy, you're getting opinions of people from their experience in life. So what I need you to understand is that you can do this. You can do anything. You can go out and become a multimillionaire. You have to get around a different network of people. And so I need you to just promise something to yourself, that you're going to start identifying the people around you that pull you down. It could be your spouse. It could be your mom. It could be your dad. It could be your brother. It's not that these people don't care about you. It's that they may have an insecurity or fear that they're dealing with, that then they're projecting and projecting on you. So I need you to pick your why. I need you to understand why you are here with me right now. It's because you want to change. It's because there's something in your life that you feel is like just pulling you, and you maybe can't even identify what it is. And I need to let you know that you can do this. The unlimited money glitch, the BRRRR, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. I call it the unlimited money glitch because once you perfect it, you can own tens or hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate with one set of down payments. And even if you don't have any money to start, you learn how to do the wholesale part, like we're going to talk about in this next video. You find off-market deals, you network with the right people, you get around the right people. I need you to think about this. What is it that you want out of your life? And I'm going to ask you to do something that may be uncomfortable. I want you to write your obituary. I want you to go and write your obituary. And what I believe you're going to find is what you wanted your life to be, right in your obituary. This is going to tell you what you were looking to do out of your life. But once you find that, let me help you get there. Let me help you fulfill the life that you would have always wanted to have. See, my life first started off with survival. And then it started off with wanting a family. And then it started off with wanting to be, have a 3-month reserve, 6-month reserve. Then I went to a 5-year reserve, then 10 years. Then I was like, I don't ever want to have to worry about money again. Then once you do that, it's like, okay, I don't want my kids to have to worry about money. And then once you do that, then it's like, okay, what's your real purpose? Like, okay, yeah, society tells you go buy a private jet and a yacht, and that's going to create happiness. But I was like, that's not really going to, I had a lot of money in my 20s, so I did a lot of that stuff, and it just didn't create or fulfill me. So I had a goal to go buy, become a billionaire. But then I was like, I don't really need money. I don't really want any more. And I want to have a purpose in life that's bigger than me. And that's where I came back to really wanting to reach out to social media and show people what I found in real estate and how it built massive wealth for me, how I know it can do the same for you. Go, if you're comfortable with that, go put that together. I want you to, it's not that I want you to think about death. I want you to think about life. I want you to use this as a resource to say, man, this is what I want to complete in my life. This is what I want to do. So my mission has now turned from worrying about my kids to now worried about helping people that suffer with the same type of scarcity mindset that I grew up with. Scarcity mindset of, oh, you got to pay cash for something, you don't deserve it. Like, no, man, that's foolish, man. That's foolish. And I'm going to show you why. So whatever challenges you're having, a lot of it's right here. It's mental. So let's just promise each other that you are going to overcome that with me. All right, you ready to get knowledgeable, get educated? Let's go to the next video.
Oh, Nate, you're on mute. I think you muted your mic.
I'm sorry. Hey, if you guys got any questions while we're going through this, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm gonna let's see what's the next video.
Let
See
me
what
just
it is.
right areas to buy in, it looks like.
What areas to buy in? Okay, let's go look at that, man. That should be a good one there. And again, and again, if you guys want access to this, just say mini course or free video, and I'll get that over to you guys and girls. How long is this one here?
Looks like it's about 8 minutes long.
All right, yeah, let's hit it at a 1.2. What is it? Has it got anything over above a 1 point? Let's see. Yeah, 1.25, 1.5 may be too quick.
Yeah, okay.
And guys, this is good too. This is over an hour long. And then what I want you to do is get your questions, drop them in here. If you say mini course, I'm going to send this over to you. And then also I'm going to answer some questions that you guys got at the end, man. And we're just going to run through. This is the BRRRR method. Does anybody in here know what the BRRRR method is? You guys understand first off what the BRRRR method is? I just want to make sure you guys know that before we go through all this.
We're getting a lot of yeses in the chat.
Okay. All right, then go ahead and hit play then.
Future millionaires. In this video, I am going to show you how to identify an area. I'm going to show you why we're looking at these areas and what is likely to happen. Remember, these areas here that we're going to be focusing on will build the wealth. Most people teach that cash flow is king. Cash flow is absolutely really not king, because here's what happens. If you buy in the wrong areas, then you have a stagnant rent. So you may have good cash flow. Let's say you had good cash flow when your interest rate was 4%, but 5 years later, you got to refinance. Now your interest rate is 7%, and your rent didn't go up, and the value of your property didn't go up, and now you need a new roof, you need new cabinets, whatever. Cash flow is not king, man, because let's say you were making $500 a month on this cheap property you bought for 60 months. That's 30 grand. Now let's say 5 years later, you got 20,000 in capital repairs. 20,000 of your 30,000 is gone. On the other hand, let's say that you would have bought in an area where your rent was like you didn't make maybe 500 cash flow. And most of the time when people say they're making 500 cash flow off of a cheap property, they're not. And I'm going to break that down in the spreadsheet. They're not including their real expenses. So how do you know how much to pay for a property? How do you know where to buy? We're going to cover all that. But in this video right here, I'm going to show you what area I would buy in. I'm just going to use Cincinnati. It's where I live at. And I'm going to show you, you can do this anywhere in the country. I do teachings on this all the time, show my students exactly where. Okay, so look, here's the problem, man. I went to Cincinnati and there's a lot of properties here. It's overwhelming. Okay, now I want to look at sold. Price, not too concerned with that. Beds and bath, not really concerned. Okay, here, let's get rid of some of these. I'm not looking for manufacturer. I'm not looking for apartments. I'm not looking for lots. I'm looking to do the unlimited money glitch and show you guys how I started off buying these single family homes and was able to scale up to now owning several $100 million in real estate. Yes, you heard that right. Growing up poor, none of that mattered. The expertise, the things that I'm going to teach you are not to be an employee. They're going to teach you to be an entrepreneur and create wealth, not just for you, but for future generations. So we want to apply. We're only looking for houses. That eliminated some of them. But here's what you really need to find. You need to find the areas where new builds are happening in the city. Why? Because new builds cost a lot more than existing inventory most of the time. And if people are willing to come into this neighborhood and buy for 4, 5, 6, 700,000, what that means is that you have a movement, some type of movement, migration. And I don't know if we're gonna go that deep, but we go back and we track where that movement or migration goes to. And then what it always ends up being is basic jobs, and they have multipliers. There's some deeper stuff. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on looking at properties that have been built since, I'm gonna say 2018. Let's see how much of this list gets dwindled down just by applying that. Oh yes, this is great. Okay, I'm not looking at $1 million homes. I'm looking for things that are close to the city. Okay, so here's a big pocket of them close to the city. Why close to the city? Because right now, that is where the millennials are flocking to. You have the Gen Z. There's 80 million millennials, 80 million Gen Z. What caused the last housing collapse was more inventory being built than people to move into them. Right now, what we have is 80 million millennials that just hit the market, and they're getting older now. They're actually in their 40s now. There's 80 million of them. And the older ones are in their 40s, the younger ones are in their 30s. But now you have Gen Z. There's another 80 million people coming in that need housing, and we haven't built any. And it's so expensive to build. So what we are hacking into is the unlimited money glitch. And it's not going to go away like in 2008 when we overbuilt the market. The market is way underbuilt by between 5 and 20 million houses. The cost to build new is 400,000 or 500,000 just for a starter home. That is why we have a good 10-year runway of building wealth. Even with these higher interest rates, you're going to see a shortage of inventory. The people that have current houses at 2, 3, and 4%, they're not going to sell. They're not going to sell their houses. And so now you are forced to build. And the cost to build is a lot more than existing inventory, as you're going to see right here. And so as we identify this area here, this one here, I like this one here. There's more. Let's go to this area and see what's going on here. Okay, Evanston. Okay, number one, there's a highway right here. What else do we have going on out here? Let's see here. There's a highway. What the heck is this, a graveyard here? Is this a graveyard? Musketeer Drive. Let's see here. Oh, that's a college. Okay, so you got a college out here. That makes sense that they would want to build around a college. Okay, so let's see what zip code this is in. I'm gonna go over here, building new 557. Oh, wow, look at this, man. So what we're looking for in this neighborhood, I think we found a good neighborhood here. You got a park here and it's getting squeezed. You got the hospital right here. You have a university here, and this is close to downtown. This is an area that we want to look at focusing on. So now what we want to do, we know there's stuff selling for 550, 350, 375. We want to go in here, and if I'm right about this, it's going to be mixed in with old properties, and we're going to see that you probably can buy some cheap stuff, or there's been some cheap stuff selling. Yep, perfect. Look at this, 90 grand. This is the stuff you're looking to burn right here. These are the neighborhoods you're looking for right here. Look at this, 42,000 here. Oh man, this is gold here. So that is how you find deals. Look at this, 85 grand. And right next door to that, you got stuff selling for 3.25. These are burn neighborhoods right here, okay? This is how I really built my wealth, was understanding how this stuff worked. Look here at 5.25 over here. Something sold for 43,000 a block away. And then look, oh, look at this. So they bought it for 43 grand and renovated it. Oh, it's okay. It's on the market right now for 439. See all that different spread? Man. And what I don't want you doing is buying these properties and flipping them. It's pending right now, 439. That's just a job. And I made a whole video about that. It's called $1 Million Mistake. But flipping properties is good if you're trying to get some money under your belt. But the real wealth is in buying and holding. And as we go through this mini course and break down, I will show you how. Now that we've identified an area, I like this 45207. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to take this 45207. We're going to show you how to source and find your own deals. It's very important. Whether you are somebody that's struggling to find your own deals, whether you say, oh, I can't find deals, we're going to show you how to price, how much to offer based off of the work that's going to need done on a property. But let's jump to the next video. I'm going to show you how I use this system. Matt will put a video in here and get you set up. So please take the time, get set up, make sure you cancel before the 7 days if you don't want to stay in it. If you do, great. We'll see you in the next video.
And that's a wrap for that one.
All right, so go to the next video. I'm going to show you guys the software that we use to find deals, and I can do it anywhere in the country. I want you guys to do this. Drop your zip code below right now. Let's do it at 1.5. Drop your zip code below. And I'm going to come in here and just show you guys, man, how to squeeze this list all the way down. What we're looking for is motivated sellers, man. I got 2 properties under contract right now. I ain't even looking. You know, my son is he got let me just share my screen with you guys real quick, man. Let me see here. Okay. Let me go here. Any of you guys see my son and kind of what he's working on, what he's doing here? Look, that's a house right there that I own here. Let me show you guys this house, man. I bought this house here. This is worth $405,000. I bought this house for like 20 grand, and it just keeps going up in value. Let's see here. Show more. I bought this house in like 15, 16. What did I pay for this? Home value. Saying it's worth 405, but I probably could get 475, 500 out of it. I'm all in it for 160. I've already got my money back. I've already burned it, meaning I went back to the bank and got 250 out. So I paid back the $160,000 loan, walked away with about 80,000 after taxes. Then, well, I don't know where I could go in here to the auditor and show you guys, but this house was rough here. You know what? You guys want to see this on the auditor? Yes or no? You guys want to see what this house looked like when I bought it? I can go back and show you guys here. And I had to gut this whole house. Yes? Are they saying yes or no? Because I don't want to waste people's time.
Oh yeah, we're getting yeses coming in.
All right, so I'm just gonna go on the auditor and show you guys, man. So here, 2965 Decky Bach is right here. Okay, search here. So I'm gonna go to transfer. What did I pay for this property, man? I bought it 16 for 26.5. And you see I switched it. I still own it. I just switched it from Macmillan Capital to eBarg portfolio. Then let's see here. Let's go to images here. Okay. That's what it looked like in 21. Let's see what it looked like in 2014. See that there? I mean, man, this is the stuff that I've taught people to do. That's how Michelle became a millionaire. Man, I've had so many people become millionaires because once you understand how to execute on this stuff, you don't need money to get started. Money is going to make it a lot easier. But I was bankrupt in 2013 and came out of bankruptcy. I came out of bankruptcy and was able to really just scale quickly. And we'll show you guys how to get into this in a minute. But the property that I wanted to show you guys was my son's first property here that he's doing here. And we'll jump back here, 2643 Acosta. Look at this property here. See this here? Sold for 70 grand on 8/21/24. Look at this. We renovated it. How much you guys think this house is worth here? What do you guys think it's worth here? He bought it for 70. He put 80 in it. He's in it for 150. And what do you guys think it's worth? Anybody in here respond yet on the chat?
We have a lot of 300Ks, 350, 200K, 425, 275.
All right. So here's the street here. And we're using let me clear this here. Minimum. I don't need a minimum in here. No minimum. So price, bed and bath, home type. I'm only looking for homes here. That's all I care about right now. More. Any of them. Okay, so we're looking at sold. This is his street here. Home type, more. Something in here. Oh, built in 2023. Okay. Now we're looking for any year. Okay. So look, you see there was one on the street sold for 165. That was run down. Same square footage as his, but you see it just wasn't renovated. 19 cabinets are from 1950. I mean, man, look at that dishwasher, man. That looked like something out of the Star Wars episode. So that's not a comp. When we're looking at comps, we're looking at things that are comparable, that have been renovated. So here's one on the street. Here's his right here. Okay. So here's this one. So for 271, a couple hundred square foot smaller. Sold last year for 271. So I want to go out just a little farther. See, here's one for 340. That's much bigger. That's not a comp. We're not going to use that as a comp. This one right here, 306 is a good comp. Same square footage, just sold this year. So it's worth $300,000, everybody, okay? This one here is a little bit bigger, but this one doesn't look like it's, let's see if this one's renovated. Yeah, this one is renovated. This one's renovated. They did a nice job on it too. I mean, that leaded glass is going to be freezing. But this is a nice house here. They didn't replace the windows in it. This is cheap flooring here. This is Pergo flooring. But overall, it's a nice property here. So, this one sold for 330 here. So we're in a pocket here in this neighborhood where things are selling cheaper. And this is the first thing you have to understand. This is how you build wealth. You find these deals here. Then what you're going to do is this here. Here's the math. Anybody want to see how we do the math on this? This is where the magic comes in. You know what? Let me just go over here real quick. I think we got this already here. This might be his property here. Residential calculator. Yeah, this is it. We had it paid worth $296. Rent's $19.95. You actually got a little more than that. But if I go to a DSCR lender, all the DSCR lender is looking for, they're not looking for a management fee. So this is on view only. So this here, I'm not going to log into this, but this property here, it's going to be worth 300 grand roughly. He borrows 62%, meaning that at the end of this deal, he'll get all his cash back plus 36 grand, because 62% of 296 is 183 minus the construction cost, minus his closing costs, holding costs, blah, 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 blah. His max offer is 106. Since he got up for 70,000, he's going to get 36,000 back after he completes the renovation, which is done. Meaning that off this property, he's going to make $150,000 right here in total equity. Some of that's going to be cash flow. I mean, some of that's going to be cash back, and some of that's going to be equity. But that is how you build wealth. If we go over here and we look and see, what this thing is going to be worth year 5, it is likely to be worth $360,000. So it's going to go up $64,000 in value just by owning it. And that's how you get wealthy. You do a couple of these, you make 100-something thousand. You get good at it, though. As you get good at it, you do more and more and more and more and more. Does that make sense, everybody? So I'm going to take you back over here to the Hamilton County Auditor. And I'm going to show you this house here. Start a new search. 2643 Acosta. Right here. So you'll see that's what this house looked like when he bought it. It was in rough shape. It was just, it was in bad shape, man. So, but we painted it again, made it look beautiful. That's what you do to these old houses. And new roof, new kitchen, really nice, nice flooring, nice countertops, nice backsplash. Yeah. So here's the floor plan, kind of put all that on there too. So I'm going to go to the next video. I'm going to stop sharing now. And then you guys got any questions, jump in. My son is up 150,000 equity since August. He's actually started on his second deal. And then he has his third deal. He closes on December the 18th. In 9 months, he'll be a millionaire. So go ahead and hit this one. Hit it at a 1.5.
Just make sure it's at, it's at 1.5. Okay. Oh, we see Matt. This is nice. Okay.
Get you started on Deal Machine, but first I have a guest that is actually from Deal Machine that is going to give you some information. Matt, what's up, man?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on. You'll see me on plenty of trainings. I do often trainings with your community. Love getting involved with DIA, but really on our end, I would say first and foremost, consider me a resource. Anytime you want to reach out, happy to help. We also have a support button inside the Deal Machine app. They answer in 4 minutes or less if you do a direct outreach during business hours. We also have dealmachine.com/office-hours, and those are live virtual office hours that our head of customer success does 4 days a week as well. So we're going to give you guys as much possible support on our end as possible. Also going through our special DIA setup link.
Hey, Val, go ahead and skip and go to the next one, because I can show them that this is just, let me show them how to go to the very. Is this me breaking it down here? Yeah, do this one here. Okay. Do this at a 1.5. And I'm going to show you guys here in a second how to jump in there and get this free access to this. But I want to show you how to work it first.
Welcome back, Future Millionaires. In this video, you guys should have your Deal Machine all set up. So I'm going to take you to the back end. I'm going to show you how I use it. There's many different ways to use it. There's a lot of features on here, but for me, it's a time-saving tool. But my favorite thing is that now that I've spotted the area, I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to put 45207, and I'm going to go.
Hey, Val, pause real quick.
Yep.
Hey, so guys, remember, this is the area that I found earlier in the Zillow video. Does everybody understand where I got this information? How I pulled up a city? How I can pull up any city and I can go and find an area that's being gentrified? Does everybody understand that? If not, type in no and I'll explain that later, but go ahead and hit play.
I want to look at it from the standard map to see if it can give me so we have this area.
We have some no's in the chat, just a heads up for future.
Yeah, it looks like we got a whole bunch of no's. That's why we're going to send this to you, but go ahead and go through this and I'll show you guys how I was able to identify this area. And then from there, I'm able to bring it over to this software that we use right here. And I'll show you guys how to get set up at the end of that. At the end of this, I'll show you guys how to get set up to the free offer on this.
This is the area that we're going to look at. And if memory serves me correct, this is the highway here, and the college is somewhere. Okay, right here is Xavier University. The Listerman Brewery, that's always good. So we want to look at the area like right here is where those houses were, right around Jonathan. So know your area. And then the reason I love Deal Machine is because we're able to come in here and scrape this data and just find people that are like, hey, dude, I don't want this property. Now that I know my area here, I like to just look at it. You can look at it different. Okay, so here's what's going on. Look at this, Cintas Center. That's where Xavier plays the games. Xavier University, you got a brewer. So all this is university here. That's huge. Then we got the highway, which is going to squeeze all this. Then over here, you have Mark Stadium, Walnut Hills High School. Let's see what the heck. Let's see what this is. Walnut Hills High School. And let's go to news. Top Ohio high schools include 4. Oh, hold on, man. Let's see what's going on here. Walnut Hills, Marymount, Indian Hill, and Wyoming ranked as Top Ohio. Oh, wow, man. So this is the Top Ohio high school here. So you got good schools in the area. Look, Bexley, Walnut Hills, Marymount, Indian Hill, Wyoming. Number 2 in the state. Whoa. Okay. Now this is making sense. This is making sense to me why this area is a good area to buy in. So you're right here. So we literally want to buy anything from here down to here, this whole area right along the highway. You guys see what I'm seeing? Why you're identifying these areas? People are going to want to move there, man. You're right by the number 2 high school in the country. And the area is getting gentrified. We've already found new builds going on, and we found dilapidated properties. Now, what if we could go in here and find expired listings, vacant homes is good. Cash buyers, free and clear, high equity, low equity. Tax delinquent. That's my thing right there. Oh, look at this, man. All these in white are tax delinquent. Expired listing. Look at this here. Whoa, this is good here. Unless this has been bought already. Let's see. When was the last time this sold? Built in 1904. Tax delinquent, yes. Tax year, more info. Okay, so 25 Montgomery Development LLC.
Hey, Val, go ahead and hit pause real quick. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, okay? So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys how I found this area here. Remember, I'm coming into, let's just say I look at Cincinnati. I pull up Cincinnati here. Or somebody give me a city. Somebody, you know what? Let me just do Cincinnati here. I'll show you guys how I found this one here. Cincinnati, Ohio. Remember, I'm looking for sold. I'm looking for home type. I'm really only looking for houses. This is where you can make a big margin. You know, maybe I could do multifamily too. That's okay. But for this, I just want to keep it simple. I'm going to do houses here. I'm going to do year built 2018. Because all I want to know is these areas getting gentrified. Watch all these disappear. Boom.
Wait, Nate, you're not showing your screen. You might have to like.
Oh, okay. Let me stop share. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So hold on a second, y'all. Okay, so here, let me do this over for you guys. What's up, son? How you doing?
There you go.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to home type here, house. Then I'm going to go right here. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so if I hit apply, watch how many houses sold here. See, like, how am I possibly going to find the hot area out of all these? Does anybody know how I'm going to find the hot area here? Nobody? That's okay. I'm going to show you. What I'm looking for is where people are coming in and building new in the city. Because if I can come in the city down here close to the city, I know that that land probably had to be built upon at one time, and now it's in a neighborhood that is deteriorated, that is up and coming. And so let me just go over here and see if I go to year built, I'm going to go 2018. Watch all these that disappear here. See, that's going to give me my sweet spot. See, now I'm over here. See this? I'm close to the city. Okay, 1,000,004. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for them. I'm looking for stuff here that's cheap, 225. Okay, these are brand new builds here. 350. 352, 599, 546. I like this neighborhood. This is the same neighborhood. This is how I found this neighborhood. So click on it. 45207. Right? I can find this in any city across the country. It's not hard to find. Once you know this tool, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take this off here. And if I'm right, you're going to see a big mixture of value in them neighborhoods there. So, okay, look. This is it here. Look, 23 grand. Look at that. 23 grand, 15 grand, 152. 36K, 285, 10K. I mean, it's all over the place, man. This is money. Look, 385. Look at that. And then right behind them, 15K, that was a lot. That don't count. 23K, it's a house. It's a house. You guys see how easy it is to find these? Look, 130 right here. 295, there's money to be made. There's money to be made here. Does that make sense, everybody? Now what I'm going to do, since I know this is 45207, this is how you go get your free trial here. Go to natebarger.com. All right. And then I'm going to go over here to partners here. And then I'm going to go right here to Deal Machine here. Now, I already got an offer. I already got an account here. I already got an account. So verify it's you. Let me move this out the way here. Okay. Sign in again. Okay, here we go. Hold on. This is taking me through. I should be signed in already. Unlock offer. Start now. Maybe if I go to start now. So this is what you'll do to sign up. You'll go here to start now. I would do this pro. I think the pro's got 5 users you can use on it. If you're going to use virtual assistants, you get your free 7-day trial here. Now, you may, if you're not gonna need 5, you may want to just go to pro list. So we get a discount here. We get from 148 to 135, and we'll give you a free week. This has List Builder, Deal Machine Pro. I think this probably has this one has 5 users on it too. So I'm not sure what the difference is. You guys can go in there and pick what's good for you. I just always get the premium one. If I'm gonna waste my time, I'm gonna spend some money on it, especially going to get your free stuff in. So let me go to my Deal Machine, log in over here. My Deal Machine here, right here. Okay, so I'm in here. Dismiss, continue. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to go to that 45207. Okay, look. 2,865 properties in that zip code. Now, does anybody in here know, here's the highway, here's that brewery, here's Xavier University, here's Walnut Hills High School, and great community to buy in right here. Does anybody know how I'm going to narrow this list down? I don't want to call 2,865 people. Anybody in here got any ideas? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my quick filters, and I want to find people that have high equity.
Yep, people are dropping tax delinquent in the chat. High equity.
Yep. High equity and tax delinquent is what I'm looking for here. Why? Because if it's high equity, that means they can sell it to me no matter what I offer them. You know, if they own it, like let's say they only owe 20,000 on it, and it's worth 400,000 renovated. And I say, hey, man, it needs a lot of work. I can give you 80,000. They can take that. If they owe 200, they can't take 80. So high equity, tax delinquent, and then I'm going to hit match all. Watch this. Takes it down to 169 properties. This thing does the work for me. So I ain't trying to do all that work. Does that make sense, everybody? What just happened here? It took me to, hold on, let me go back over here to Ohio. Y'all trying to take me down into Georgia. See all these houses here that are lit up in white? These are all the ones that are tax delinquent. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the list over here, and I'm just going to look at, let's say this one here. Look at this. Off market, cash buyer, high equity, tax delinquent, out-of-state owner, absentee owner, corporate owner, Gary, North Carolina, start mail. I can hit this right here and call them, right? I ain't going to do that right now because it'll pop up and give you guys all their phone number, and I don't want to do that. Or I could get their email right here. But if I dig down a little bit further, it's got an estimated $58,000 repair cost or tax delinquent for 2023 for $2,918. And let me see how much money they owe on this property here. So hold on a second. So I could set up AI too if I want to do that, but we ain't gonna go into that. That's too deep right there. That's just too deep. So I could add this lead here. It'll also show me their mortgage on here. So if I want to go in here and I want to look at their look, here's all the likely owners here. This person's likely the renter. So if I want to get a hold of them, start the mail, the comps. I mean, it breaks everything down for you. It'll show me their mortgage, how much money they owe. Let's go look at another one over here. Does this make sense to you guys, girls? Yes, no? This one here, estimated equity, 221,000. They have no mortgage on it, and they are tax delinquent for 2022. And again, owners right here, you know, if I want to call them, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to show you their phone number, but that's how easy it is, right? Does that make sense, everybody? This is how you find these deals.
We have
And
yes.
if I call them up right now, or I can set up a virtual assistant to call them up, right? I can call these people up and say, hey, man, my name's Nate, calling about the property you got over here. Look, they're in Fort Worth, Texas, man. Freaky fast home buyers. Look, man, if I could go reverse prospect them and see if they own a whole bunch of properties. They may own a whole bunch of them up here. They owe 70,000. It's estimated to be worth 185,000, right? Their original loan, they just bought it and they're already behind on taxes, right? So they bought it out of probate, tax delinquent. It's a problem, right? So this is where you make the money. I come and say, hey, man, I know you bought it for $70,000. They're going to say, oh, well, I've been paying this and that. I got $98,000 in it. I'm going to say, look, what are you looking to do with it? You're out of town. I'm in town. Let me go over there and look at it and get you an offer. Or you could just offer them sight unseen. Say, look, I'll give you $80,000 for it. I can close cash in a week. I just got to come in and have a 3-day inspection period. Lock it up under contract. And in 3 days, what I'm doing, I'm bringing my prospects. So we show you guys how to build out lists. But if I want to buy this property and burr it, does it work? What is this property going to be worth? You got to know how to comp out. And that's stuff that we show you guys how to do. I'm going to see if there's any questions. Any questions about that, everybody?
We had one from Quinn. He asked, how do you pull the list? I think he just wants you to run through how to pull the list again for the specific list.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the whole training on this, because I don't want to slow everybody else down. I want to get through this. I'm going to give you the training, and then you can go through there and watch it over and over. Look, you guys would go to college for 4 years to get out and make $50,000, $60,000. Watch this video 4, 5, 6 times, and I'll show you how to become a millionaire, right? And then you jump on here with your questions. Jump on here with your questions, and I'll answer them for you. So let's go back through. We'll answer some questions in the chat. Let's go and see what the next video looks like. Is that fair, everybody? So again, if you want access to this, I mean, you can use absentee owner, but look, I don't want to narrow the list down too far. You know, just say free training or something below. Let's go take this all the way up to about 6 minutes here. 6 minutes. All right, go ahead. That's good.
That's how you form relationships. Really, that guy's a hustler. So what I just did was I just threw a net out there. He's going to go fishing for me. That's networking. Now, that's a lot of time, but I guarantee you I'm going to yield some results out of that. Okay, so let's see what I can find over here. There goes a property here. Absentee owner. Lucille. Let's see here. Free and clear. High equity. Off market. Absentee owner. Okay, adding lead. Let's go look at these phone numbers here. Property owner. Total P owns 2 properties. So let's call him. So this is how you find deals. Okay, so I can call him. I can find out if he wants to sell this property. I also can go in here and start mail. And this is a great thing about the system. See this here? Is this your property? I can load this up. Mail will not be sent out until you resume sending queue. So I can put them on a campaign that will send this out every, let's just say repeat every 21 days. I can change the picture. There's a lot of different options. And so these are things that you can do to set up and automate. Again, you will get free marketing credits. You'll be able to send so much of this stuff out for free just for using our code. We worked out a special deal so that our students and you guys as well can benefit from that. So that is how I like to find properties. People waving a flag saying, hey, look, man, I'm delinquent on my taxes. Those are the people I'm after. That's one way. I'm also going to focus in the next video and show you something that we call driving for dollars. And a lot of you guys know driving for dollars. You're driving around, you find a property. But what if you could do that from here, your desktop? You'll be a lot more efficient, not burn any fuel, and do this while maybe you're working your W-2. My goal is to help you quit your W-2, which is your job, and become a full-time real estate investor and understand how this wealth works. So let's jump to the next video. I'm going to show you how to drive for dollars.
All right. So, guys, I mean, this just showing you some of the stuff that we can do. Driving for dollars. We're going to go in here for about a minute, watch this, then jump to the next video because I want to get you guys through some of this. Go ahead and hit that at 1.5.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I updated it first.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Val.
Welcome back, Future Millionaire. In this video, we're going to be covering driving for dollars. What is that? This is you being able to drive down the street. We're going to show you how to do it virtually right here from your laptop. You're going to be way more efficient than actually going out in your car. It's going to cost you less money, and you're going to have all the resources right here to add this to your campaign, add it to your leads, skip trace, find a number, physically call these people. What I like to do is go find 20 or 30 houses, put them in a campaign, send them out, put them on a mailer every 21 days, on postcards maybe. Also, go out here and start calling them live. Hey, when you want to sell your property. Again, you can do the same thing. I like using tax delinquent, but what we're going to do over here. All right, so we're going to start driving. We took and click on the street here, and I'm looking for, this property looks like it's, none of these properties look, this property looks good here. You see the grass here. Let me spin around though. I'm looking for some crappy property, man. I want to look for some overgrown trees. Let me see here. Okay, here goes a big lot. I don't really want to buy no lot though. It's too much work. I'll go down here, and what I'm gonna pay attention to is the houses, the condition. See, this one here has an old awning. This one's probably been owned by the original owner forever. Same with that one, man. It got these AC units up in the top. So let's just scroll down here again. Okay, New Baptist Ministry here. Over here, look at this, man. This is a newer house with older. Okay, look at this here, man. This thing, old garage door here, overgrown. Like, man, look at this thing here, man. It's like all these weeds here. Okay, you see some people sitting on the porch here. All right, let's zoom in on this here. Okay, this is the address over here. It's only a 2-bedroom. I want to go look at this though. Okay, absentee owner, tax delinquent. Man, this here, I'm gonna add this as a lead. Hopefully they got a phone number. So I'm gonna call on this. They senior owner, 5 total properties owned. Jesse. Okay, so let's look at this. Burnside, Worthington, Glen Orchard, Wilson. Man, I want to buy these properties, man. Okay, but Delwood, Burnside, Worthington. So this guy has 5 properties. It says that he's an older owner. How do I find him? So I'm gonna take Jesse Trust. And you know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go to the Hamilton County Auditor and I'm gonna type in this address and I'm gonna see if I can find his phone number because this could be 5 properties here. I mean, this could easily be $100,000 profit, easy. Okay, but I gotta find this information. I wanna call this guy. Okay, rental registration, yes. Okay, Jesse, boom, look at this. I got a phone number here. Look at that, man. Very first property I tried. Here, let's, okay, so is that the right number? So could be, it's a trust, man. Mobile home registry. There's no registration number. I got to skip trace this guy. Jesse, hey, let me just go see, man. I'm going to type in Jesse obituary. I hope he didn't die. Obituary, Cincinnati, Ohio. 2016? He passed away in 2016. That means that his trustees own it. So this would line up because it's Gilbert Street here. And this is the type of property that we're looking for, man. Right here. Jesse, okay. I know this is raw. And some guys might be like, man, that ain't right, Nate. But man, I'm just trying to show you how to find properties. I hate to deal with this, but let's just see here. She leaves to cherish her memories. 2 sons. Walter. No way, I know Walt. Oh, man, how do I even call Walter? This is from 2016. Hello? Walt, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, Nate? How's life treating you, sir?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. How you been? I got something crazy, man. I just don't know if this is. Are you related? You related to Jesse?
Yes, that's my mother.
Okay, and then I'm seeing that there's a trustee and she owns some property.
The hearing on that, so
Okay.
I can get rid of some of these properties.
Okay, and then she passed away.
Oh yeah, 2016.
Oh man, I'm sorry, brother. I was like looked up because I called the number that was listed and it was disconnected, and then I went and found obituary, and then I seen Walter. I was like, that's my buddy. Is there anything that I can do to come and help? You guys looking to just sell all these, or what are you looking to do?
What I was trying to do was basically sell some stuff off and keep some. But like I said, I know I had my problems in regards to like trying to handle that wasn't the right state of mind in regards to my mother's passing and trying to.
Hey man, I'm sorry you're going through that, brother. But if you need anything, call me. Let me know how everything goes. Look at that, man. Small world. So just like there's 5 properties that potentially, you know. And here's the deal, man. A lot of you guys are like, oh, how you find properties, man? It's just time after time going out here, creating relationships like that. I'm driving down the street, man. I'm just see how quick I'm able to move. See how quick I'm able to find these properties, call people, do research instead of driving around in a car. And literally, I can just put stuff in a campaign. Okay, so this property here is newly done, newly built. Here goes one right here. Look, let's find out this one right here. Okay, look at this one here. Overgrown tree. Oh man, look at this here. Look, and you can literally zoom all the way in. Okay, so it does look like they put a new post up here. Off market, cash buyer. They put new windows up. So somebody may have already bought this one. Well, let's click on it and see. Free and clear, high equity. Oh, CMHA. Okay, so Section 8 owns this property basically. So that's not going to be a good risk. But again, you guys see how easy it is to maneuver and use this and drive for dollars. So literally, man.
All right, hey, Val, we can check out of here for now.
Mhm.
So, you guys see how easy this is to get this money? What's holding you guys back? Hey, Val, go ahead and let everybody if they want to share their screen. I'd just like to see, see some faces over here. I know we had that off during the chat.
Okay, if anyone wants to start video, they can start video now.
So anybody in here that has a question, I'm just going to ask you to take your video off, ask me a question. I'm going to directly answer you guys, but you got to have your screen up because I want to know who I'm talking to, man. I want to know whose life I'm trying to help change.
Can you also raise your hand if possible, guys, just so I can see you and ask you to unmute if you have a question? That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Should let you guys raise.
Ray, what's going on, big homie? You back in St. Louis already? Ray was over here in Cincinnati today, man. That's my buddy Ray. We went out and hung out for a little while, man. I wish I would have had more time with you, Ray.
We have
Yep.
a question from Fabrice. Let me just ask him to unmute.
Fabrice. Yep, go ahead and not unmute, just put it in the chat.
Oh,
You put it in the chat. You type it in the chat, Fabrice and Matthew Barnes. So we'll take 2 questions and then we'll move to the next video and then you put it in the chat, Fabrice, Mr. Benjamin.
Looks like he's typing in.
Okay. Man, don't worry about no credit, man. If you had credit before, you didn't become a millionaire. What's it matter? You had money before. You did, none of that matters, man. Those are just all reasons that should motivate you to get this money. Let me tell you something, man. In 2013, now let me show y'all something, man. Let me show y'all. Look, this guy could have made some excuses here, right? Look, Hamilton County, County Clerk of Courts. So look, what I want you guys to understand is this. Everything that you're talking about, you ain't had no money, you ain't had no credit, none of that. Like, look, where you think I was at, man? Like, look, let me put my name in here. Let's go see what I had here. See pop up. See what my history is here. Okay, Natalie, that is not me. But all these here, these are all me, man. Right? Come on, man. These are all arrests. These are all foreclosures. These are all traffic. Man, we even got a couple of them in here where I went to prison, right? So that's me, Nate Barger. So it's all public record. I don't want you guys to think that I'm coming in here telling you that. Look, felony. Let's see here. Department of Corrections, prison, right? So this one here, 96. Look at this, right back to prison. Department of Corrections, right back to prison, right? So, I mean, none of that really matters, man, what you went through. What matters is what are you going to do with the rest of your life? This part of my life's over here, right? But if I would have been like, oh, man, I got to stop and look at that part of my life and probably would have not got nowhere. I had a 400-something credit score. Now my credit score is like 840. I don't even use my credit now, right? But when I had a 400 credit score, I couldn't go to the bank, but I had to figure out a way to move. But my knowledge was so strong. And when I was bankrupt, my knowledge, man, not only my knowledge, man, what happens when you broke all the way down, man, I ain't had no choice, man. I had that faith. And when you got that faith and you just like, all right, God, I done messed my whole life up, man. Like, Take it. You got the wheel. I'm talking about like, you ain't worried about nothing no more. Because whatever happens, you get a flat tire, man, you praising. Thank you, Jesus. I could have got killed right up the street. So what that'll allow you to do is go through life and not worry about what you're going through, because it's part of the journey. But a lot of times we go so stuck worried about our feelings and, oh my God, you're not gonna believe I had a horrible day. Oh, what was your horrible day? My car broke down. Man, you could have went up the street a quarter mile and got hit by a semi and been dead. I had a buddy of mine that was so obsessed with doing this deal, he was gonna make $5 million on. I said, okay, man, let's just say you get the deal done, man. I said, you already prayed on it. God's showing you this ain't right. You want to do it anyways. He said, yeah, because it's gonna change my life, this and that. I said, well, let's say you go get the deal, you put the deal together, you make $5 million. You're gonna be happy? He said, man, absolutely. I said, what's it gonna do for you? It's gonna allow me to do this with my kids. I said, what if you go do that and then on the way home from the title company, you get killed? Right? I said, maybe God sees that happening. Maybe that's the reason. Because he's trying to sell me on, but God can't see nothing bad in this deal. This deal's great. I'm gonna make. It's not always what you think. Let life flow. Don't force things. Don't force things to happen. You gotta force them, it ain't the right deal. And that's how, from 2013 to 2015, when I came out of bankruptcy, people were like, man, how'd you do that in 30 months? Hey, man, I ain't do that in 30 months. That was 25 years of failing, learning that credit didn't matter, having money didn't matter, because I had credit, I had money. What mattered was the skill set that I built. The stuff I'm sharing with you guys right here cost me millions of dollars to learn in decades of my life. You guys would be crazy not to take the stuff that I learned and move forward with it. You'll be crazy to go through the stuff I went through. And a lot of times, any entrepreneurs in here? Any entrepreneurs? Look, y'all know what I'm talking about then. You guys are insane, because the same person wouldn't go through what we go through. They just wouldn't. It doesn't make logical sense sometimes. They're like, yo, you're this close to failing, you just keep going. Or you fail, you keep going, right? But guess what? If you keep doing that, eventually you're gonna make it. So I'm here to help you make less of the mistakes. So, hey, I ain't had no credit, I didn't have no money, I had no tax returns. And I said, hold on, man. All I need is somebody with credit, with money and tax returns? That's all I need? Come on, man. So I went and found people with money, credit, tax returns. I found a deal, I put the deal together, I put the construction teams together. I managed the deals, I managed the construction process. I worked 16, 18, 19, 20-hour days. I didn't care. And at the end of those 30 months, I was like, holy crap. I had 35 grand a month in passive income. It was unbelievable, unbelievable. And I'm not saying that you were gonna make 35 grand a month in passive income. But what I didn't realize is that I was probably making another 50 or 60,000 a month in appreciation. So I was making 100 grand a month. I just wasn't able to see the rest of it. Then when I start peeling and selling some of that stuff up, I was getting big checks. I was taking them big checks and buying bigger deals. And that's how I scaled up. That's how I scaled up. So what was your question, brother? Fabrice, did we get your question in?
Yep, we have his question. He's asking, how do you go about making deals virtually, whether it's fast cash wholesaling to get some liquid before getting your bird journey?
Put right here. Call him. Call him right here, man. Hey, would you so I see, first you got to call the person. Remember, somebody may be up right now praying, oh Lord, I just need to get rid of this house. I can't. And you call them tomorrow. You haven't sent, right? And you worried about how you're going to get the deal on the contract. First off, I'll tell you, Jarius can show you how to do all that. My partner, Jarius. And he'll do a live in here. But we ain't gonna go into that right now. We'll go into that later. But you just offer. You offer. Say, what are you looking to get? I see you paid $70,000 for the property 2 years ago, and you hear what they say. Sometimes they may say, yeah, but I had to put a lot of money in it. Okay, so what do you want for it? Well, I had to put $7,000 in it. That ain't a lot of money to me, but it might be to them. Okay, so what if I could get you your $77,000 back? Would you be happy? Or they may say, man, I paid $70,000 for it and I put $25,000 in it, but I'm just having problems with the city and it's in bad shape, man. Well, what do you owe on it? Well, I don't know anything. Well, how much do you need me to give you so you can walk away and get this problem out of your life? Right? That's it. All you're doing is solving problems. You solving problems for people that's saying, hey, yo, hey, I don't want this property anymore. I ain't paying the taxes, the roof leaking. I got a lady right now that we closing on December the 18th. My partner from Okino was the very first person in my mentorship to become a millionaire. He did it in 7 months. Jamaican immigrant, came to the United States in 2015, right? I met him in 2021. He had just cashed out $250,000. He sold his primary residence. When he came here, he wanted to buy a property. Now think about this, this is a Jamaican immigrant. And I had him on my podcast and I said, so when you came over here, you was broke? He said, nah, OG, I was a hustler. I had just sold my car. I said, well, what'd you have? He said, I had $1,000. So I was thinking, all right, man, hey. See, but that's mindset, he wasn't broke. And he said, the only thing I wanted to do was buy real estate. They told me I had to get a 2 years of W-2 to buy real estate. So I went and got a job, went and joined a National Guard, whatever. He got them 2 years, then he bought a house and start renovating it, right? So his journey, even though you say, man, he became a millionaire in 7 months, I mean, kinda. But do we not put any value in the stuff that he did before that, right? What he had to do to get that $250,000, he flipped it to $1 million, right? Because he went homeless, basically. He was like, man, I was living in my rental units that he didn't care. He grinded it out. Keno, you in here tonight, man? I don't know if Okino's in here, but if he is, man, I'd love for him to say something to you guys.
He was.
And so,
I think he wasn't here, but I think he jumped out though.
So Okino seen the journey of my son becoming a millionaire. And he was in town. We were having this thing called Friendsgiving. We had about 150 students in town. And we just had the people from Cincinnati, Columbus, Kentucky, and Indianapolis in town. So we had about 150 people. And Okino flew down from Boston because he was in town that week to do his training for his military stuff he was doing. And he had a 2:30 flight out, but he had a hot lead. And this lady, she called. Let me show you something, man. I'm going to show you the house here. I'm going to show you guys here. We close on this property. Well, nah, I ain't going to show y'all yet because we ain't closed on it. But the lady said, but Okino was like, I pushed my flight back. I just had a feeling about this. He pushed it from 2:30 to I think 6:30. And he said, or maybe 7:30. He said, can you meet me at the house at 4:30? If you can, it's your son's. I want to be part of his journey, right? And so I seen this at 3:58 and I live like 30 minutes away. And I said, Caden, we got to go right now, bro. So we went down there and the lady paid $100,000 for it, 2007. It's worth about $220, $250 probably. And it's on septic. The city came in and said, look, you have to connect it. You got 2 years to connect it to the city sewer. According to Ohio Revised Code, any septic that gets a main within 200 feet of it has to be connected. Health department came in, told her she had 2 years. Roof was leaking. And she got a bid that was like 40 grand. We'd probably get it done for half that. And so I just came in and I said, so what you want for it? She said, I want 100 grand. I said, well, okay, is that the least you'll take? She said, yeah, that's what I paid for it in 2007. That's what I want. I had people calling me ever since 2007 and wanted to buy this property. And so I started running through the numbers. I said, well, what do you think it's worth? She said 221. I said, okay, let's say it's worth 221. I said, if that's retail fixed up condition, let's start running her through the numbers. I said, look, I'm gonna have to get a realtor to sell it. They're gonna take 6%, right? That left the input. I'm gonna have 1% seller concession. You guys know what seller concession is? So all I did was ran the numbers with her. I said that puts us at 204. I said, now let's talk about these renovations. You would need 100,000. That takes us down to 104. The $40,000 it needs for septic, the roof. In order to get retail, I showed her what some pictures of a retail property look like. I was like, this basement, we got to tear this paneling off. I was like, we got to put up drywall. That's drywall flooring down here, new doors, that's 12 grand. So I start backing her into it. And I let her come up with the numbers. I said, well, what do you think that's going to cost? She said, well, I got a quote on a roof for 12 grand, a roof in the gutters. I said, the whole roof or just the part? She said, the whole thing. I said, okay, minus 12 grand. And I got it all the way down to where there was 36 grand left, but we hadn't been upstairs yet. And she said, why are you doing all this? Just tell me what you were going to pay me. I said, look, if I gave you 79,000, I would feel like I'm getting over on you. If I gave you 81,000, I'd feel like I'm overpaying. I need to be at 80 grand, and that's where I'm at. She said, can you get it signed today? I said, I can sign it today for you. It's that simple, man. And she sent a message over to me. I'm going to see if I can send this to Val, send to you, thanking us, saying, hey, I've had health problems over this house. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the $40,000 to come up with. My roof's leaking. She's excited, right? For the first time in life, she said, I called her like 2 days after, made sure the title company reached out to her. And you know how much money we had to put down on that property to get it under contract? Zero. We did I think we did $800 earnest money, but we just took the title company a check. They didn't cash it. I don't think they did. Maybe they did. But the property's under contract. We control it for 80. I probably could go right now and flip that contract for at least 120, make 40 grand off of it. But we close on it the 18th. Remember, you don't get wealthy flipping properties. You get wealthy buying and holding. Because that property is going to go up 5% a year for the rest of my son's life, the rest of his life. Let me show you guys what that looks like here. So if we got over here, do you guys understand what compounding means? What happens when you compound? Anybody? See this appreciation? 296 is worth 311, 327, 343, 360, 378, 397, 417, 438, 460. Who thinks that 5% appreciation and 4% rent increase is realistic? Do you guys think that's a realistic number, 5% appreciation? Can it do that? Can it go from 296 to 460 in 10 years? Anybody think that's realistic?
We're getting yeses in the chat. One no, one yes.
Okay. No, the no person. Why do you think the no? Why do you think it's a no?
We're getting more yeses now. Krista said
Look,
yes.
come on, man. I just look at data. Does data tell me this can happen? Look, 1963, 17.8. Look, 1973, 30,000. 1983, 73,000. 1993, 127. 2003. 198, 2013, even after the bubble, 264, 2023, 437, and the values have come down a little bit. We've stabilized out. So if I go over here to my calculator, you guys got to understand math if you're going to get money. If you don't understand math, it's going to be hard to get money, but I can teach you all that. This is what I'm really good at. So I'm going to go to calculator. 17,800. Who remembers what this house is worth today? Right? How many years ago was that? 2024, 1963. How many years ago was that, everybody? 61 years ago, right? So we're going to take 17,800 times a 1.05% appreciation. This is going to compound it. We're going to hit the power of 63 years. You guys think it's worth more than 420 or less? If it's worth more, then, I mean, you think it's going to be above this or below this? So if it's below 420, that means it's less than 5%. If it's above 420, that means it's more than 5%. What do you guys think? More or less? What are they saying? More or less over there?
More's in the chat.
384. It's worth more than that. So we're getting more than a 5% appreciation. This is how you get wealthy. You don't get wealthy working. You get wealthy hanging on the assets. You don't get wealthy selling. Look, if I come over here and I tell you guys, if I told you what you could really do, you guys wouldn't want to go through my mini course because you're going to say that I can't do that. That's too much. Because why? Because your mind's not conditioned to do it yet because you haven't done your first deal. But if I can show you how to do 30 deals and buy and hold, and the average deal's worth $225,000, that's 6.75 million. And if it goes up 5% a year, that's 337,000 equity. Divide that over 12 months. You're making 28 grand in equity right there. Plus you're making cash flow. But I'm not going to go too deep here because we could go really, really deep. But I don't want to go deep on here because we don't have a lot of time. I just want you guys to understand that understanding these numbers and how to execute them and any problem that you may have is where the wealth is. That's the thing that's keeping you back. So Fabrice, did you have your question together yet, brother?
That's the question we just answered about. Fabrice, did that clarify anything? He put a thumbs up. Okay, cool.
All right, and then Matthew, did somebody else have a question? Was it Matthew or?
Yeah, Matthew. I asked him to drop it, but I didn't hear back yet.
Okay. All right, so let's go to the next video real quick. And then again, man, if you guys want this, these videos I put together for you guys to really understand this. And guys, this isn't deep. This is like an hour or something. But when I mentor people, like we go really deep in our mentorship, and we have like 4 coaching calls a week. We got so much knowledge in there. Like you just see Michelle Marion, man. I'm so proud of her and Ken. Because I know where she came from. I know her journey. And so her journey was like mine, man. So go ahead and hit play real quick.
The guy I called Tyson, and last one, this is Walnut Hills High. I didn't even know we were on the street. This is the property I called about here. So let's look at this property, man. And let's see how good of a job he did.
So let's go to the next video. You guys understand what driving for dollars is? All right, yeah, let's break this down. This is the numbers. This is what I like right here. Let's go through here, man. Y'all know I love. This may go too deep. Go at 1.25. This goes too deep. We're gonna skip it. This may go into the maker's schedule, which is a tax code, and if it goes into that, it's just too deep. You guys gotta absorb this several times before you can understand it. But hit play real quick and let me see what this one's
video.
about.
We're going to be covering the renovation. You got to know.
Renovation's fine.
Okay.
So let's drop on Rhonda, figure out how much she's saying the renovation costs are. And then I'll dive a little deeper to show you why you need to know your cost. What kind of renovation cost do you think you're going to have in here?
Parts and labor, I estimated around 25 grand.
Okay, so do we have any windows that we're going to put in, Rhonda?
No, all the windows are fairly new. They look great.
All right, glass block's good.
Yes. The only downside is just it's the original HVAC and water heater.
Okay. Original?
I say original. There's no date on it. My contractor couldn't figure out how old they were. But I mean,
so if you have a tag on them, I can look that up and tell you how old they are. Do you have a picture of them even?
I don't. He does. He didn't send it to me.
Okay. So basically, for me, whenever we do a property, it could be 300 units. I'm getting tags. I take the tags, and on 300 units, I got every tag on every unit, whether it's going to be the outside unit, the inside unit, and the water tank. We got a place to set all them tags. We go back and then we research, we find out how old that unit is, and then we set our projected capital expenses right here, forecasting those going forward based off how old that stuff is. And again, I want to reiterate, very detailed. It's very detailed, but I'd rather you all be detailed than undetailed, because really what I want to set you up for is buying bigger units. If you can get this detailed, then when you get ready to slide in and buy bigger units, it's going to be seamless for you. It's not going to be a huge learning curve. You're already going to be doing everything right. It's like singing the alphabets when we were kids or whatever. Okay, so we're just going to so we could go through all these line items here, which are very important, because these are going to give you and break out your depreciation schedule. Can you go through all these with me, or do you think, no, you don't know this stuff offhand enough right now?
I don't know cost.
Okay, okay. But you trust your contractor? Have you dealt with them before?
Yeah, he did my last flip and he did an amazing job.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so then you're 25 grand. What we're gonna put in here, I'm just gonna make some assumptions. I'm gonna assume most of it's cosmetic. So I'm just gonna put 25,000.
Hold on, Nate. Give me 1 second. We have some trollers in the chat as expected at this time. So give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna remove these people. We apologize, guys, for any inappropriate people in the chat.
Oh God.
Yeah, we got one of those again.
Yeah, just make sure you shut it down once you give everybody the
Yeah, yeah, it's just the chat that's a little bit inappropriate there, but we're gonna remove it.
oh, and it's in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of trollers, but we're gonna remove these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute.
Oh, look.
Yeah, no, I just seen that too.
Look, a car.
Okay. We need to remove you guys. There we go. Yeah, we're putting a complete pause on anyone joining the call at this point because we have a lot of spammers trying to come in here. So I don't know
Okay.
what says out of pocket.
Well, we know they're not very good at drawing.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Apologize, guys. Yeah.
That's okay, Val. So just put the video up. Let the video play,
Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to.
and then make it where nobody can share the screen except you.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey guys, and all this is free. That's just part of the intermission. If you guys got to go get something to drink.
Yeah, I'm just getting these guys out of here so this doesn't happen again because we don't want to have to keep doing this. It's not going to be very fun for all of us to
Yeah.
point. So hold on, guys. Apologize. Andres, that guy's removed. Okay, looks like we're all good for now, but I won't be letting anyone in this meeting because it looks like they're all spams at this point. So just a heads up, Nate.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Val.
All right, let's get this pulled back up. Awesome.
Right here. So I'm just going to do that because everything that is under 15 year, you're going to be able to write off. And then what we're going to do, come down here, it's going to be 60% on the maker schedule. What that means is that, does anybody know what this means? First off.
I don't.
Okay, so you got 60% of that 25,000, you're going to get a write-off on your taxes. If you're a real estate professional, you're going to get a write-off right now of $15,000 based off of 60% of that 25 grand. You're able to write that off year one as a loss. All right, you heard Rhonda. Rhonda said it was 25 grand. I want you to know your numbers. And that's something that I have a whole spreadsheet. It's very dynamic. It will help you get an order of material list together. It'll take you about 2 hours to walk through a unit. But the spreadsheet that we use, by the end of the 2 hours that you walk through the unit, you're going to know exactly how much the costs are. Pretty close. Now, you're not going to be calling people out of the phone book. You call the guys out of the phone book, man, you'll never hit budget on anything. Me, even if I'm developing, I can't call a guy out of the phone book, man. You have to use the subcontractors that are subcontractors, not the ones that own a retail company that are going to come out and do a retail house like the one that I'm sitting in. Those guys they got a lot of overhead and you're going to have to cover that. So we teach you how to find these people and what you should be looking for as far as making sure they sign an independent contract agreement, have workers' comp, they have insurance, check their references, even check their jobs, go out, check their jobs, all that. But you have to know your costs. So let's look at this right here, window and install. Window is going to cost us about $225. So an average window under 101 United inches, which we go into all that. It's a lot of detail. I don't want to keep you guys on here forever. It's going to cost $225 and it's about $125 for install. So we'll say $325 for rough math. And let's just say this house had 9 of them. Glass block, $200 a piece. Let's just say this house had 4 of them. Electric and install, let's say that there was electric's all good. House is built between 1963 and 1972. You want to check for aluminum wiring. And those are the type of things that we answer and we'll give you guidance on our weekly coaching call But assuming it's Romex wiring, which is copper wiring, you may have to replace the breaker panel. Maybe it has an old fuses, or maybe it has a Federal Pacific stab lock breaker unit. Those are all recalled. And a lot of insurance companies are going to say, no, these are things that you have to know before you go buy the property. Because if not, and you miss on this stuff, it could cost you dearly. Let's just say that cost of install on that is $1,000.
Hey, Val,
You know, the phone
you,
book
you,
payment.
you go ahead and pause this real quick. So
Sure.
look, this is the boring stuff here. It's really boring, but it's the stuff that you got to know. This is the stuff that we teach. That was a coaching call that I was doing with Rhonda. She ended up buying that house. She ended up doing pretty good on it. That house was down in Louisville. So these are just like some of the coaching calls that we do with our students, and we show you guys how to put them. Just a lot. But let's do this, man. Let me ask you guys. Yeah, it's very important. This is one of the most important things, because if you're wrong about this, you're done. Like, you're done. So you're gonna lose your investment. And so this is kind of the stuff that you got to learn before you start investing. But let's just go and see if there's any other questions. Anybody who wants the rest of this mini course, just type in videos below, and we'll get these over to you guys. If you guys want to hear more about our mentorship, and you think that you're really ready to start, and you think we may be able to help you with your real estate goals and help you from making some of the same mistakes that I've done, just comment just comment call, and I'll get you guys on a call to see if this is a good a good fit for you guys. So again, videos, if you want the videos, these videos will be really helpful. But if you are tired of failing, tired of not getting a property, and you know you need a different network, you need in-depth teaching, just comment call below. And let's go to the questions over here, Val.
Yep. Let me just stop sharing.
And thank you guys again, man. It's been like an awesome hour and a half.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
Q&A. We have a
And
few
thank you,
questions.
Val, because you are amazing. You and Donald, you guys always post these. Appreciate you. I know you're up in Canada, eh? But yeah.
No worries. All right, let's start with the first questions we have from Craig. And he said, question Nate, currently in talks of buying a house, seller financing. House is $60K and the sellers will take $15K down, $1K per month. Property has renters paying $550 per month. How do I get numbers to work?
If they're paying $550 a month, man, that must be either way below. Hey, Christopher wants to know if we can drop Val's number. No, Val is not available. Good one, though, Christopher. So you know, if it's $550 a month, man, think about what year it is right now, right? If you getting $550 a month in rent, what's the market rent on it? Maybe the market rent's $1,500. But $550 a month, I wouldn't want to buy that property if that's the real market rent, because you're in an area that has an oversaturation of houses and not very many people that are willing to rent, and it's probably in really bad shape. So you can't make the numbers work. It probably has a bunch of repairs. What you got to do is you got to look at what is the property worth. So let's say that I could come in here and say, you know what? I can buy it for, you said 60,000, you got to put 15,000 down, but then let's say you got to put 50,000 in renovation. So 50,000 plus 60,000 means you're all in for 110 grand, right? And so this property would have to, for me, probably be worth 170 to do. If it's worth 170 renovated, and I'm all in at 70% of that is 119, I mean, that deal works for me, right? But I'd still want to get it maybe a little bit cheaper. And so if I'm in it for 110 and I can get 119 out, that's going to cover, I'm going to almost be in it for no money. I'm going to get all my original cash back that I use as a down payment when I go burr it. And let's say I can push the rent to, you know, $1,400 a month, 1,400 times 12. And let's just say I'm running a 95% occupancy here, right? And then let's just say that my taxes are, you know, $1,500 a year. And then let's just say that my insurance is $1,000 a year. And let's just say my property management fees are $1,000 a year. And let's say that my turnovers, I'm going to set aside 700, or let's just say 1,000 a year for that. And then let's just say that my maintenance expenses are going to be minus $750 a year. That's going to give me $10,710 to service the debt with. So I borrowed $119,000. And let's say I'm borrowing the money at 6%, but it's a 30-year AM, so it looks like a 7. 8330 divided by, what was it, 10,900? 10,900. So I'm sorry, 10,900 divided by, what was that? 10,900 divided by 8330 divided by 8330, or let's just say 8,600. I don't care. So it's got a 1.26 debt service coverage ratio. That deal would work. However, if the deal's worth 170 and it's not going to appreciate, I would flip it. If it's going to appreciate at, let's say 6% a year to the power of, 5 years, that deal's going to be worth 227. Remember, I only borrowed 119. Year 5, I'm going to go borrow 75% out. I'm going to pay off the 119. I done paid down some principal reduction. I probably owe 112,000 on it by that time. I'm cashing out 58,000. By that time I raise the rent, I'm able to service the debt. I do this, I accumulate, let's just say 10 properties over the next 5 years. I got $500,000 cash out, and I still got over $500,000 in equity. So this is, now you're a millionaire, right? So this is the simple part, doing the math. It's simple to understand once you understand that. But once you understand the math, then now you need to execute. And there's a lot of problems that you need to know about before you get started in this. So again, man, I got these videos here for you. If you want the videos, just comment videos below. We're going to do about 5 more questions. And again, if you guys want somebody to help you through this, navigate, give you a community, we got city groups, we got accountability coaches, we got private groups where we answer your questions all the time. You get mentorship from not only me, but a bunch of other people. We show you other hacks, man. Just say call and we'll get you guys on a call. Let's go to about 5 more questions, Val, and then we'll call it a night. Is that good, everybody?
Yep, awesome. We have another one from Elijah Hudson. He just asking is how can he find motivated sellers? I know you went through this a little bit earlier, but maybe just reiterate it.
Man, find people that need to sell. Find people that ain't paying their taxes. Use the system that we got. They ain't paying taxes. The property's run down. It's got a blue tarp on the roof. The bushes are overgrown. Man, they don't want it anymore, right? They checked out. They don't want it.
We have another question from Nathan Lee, and he's asking how to go about getting properties under contract.
That's a good question. That's something that we're going to be teaching this Thursday at 12 o'clock. Jirius, you know what? We got a partner of mine, Jirius, who will teach you how to do all that. He'll teach you how to run this system here that I'm talking about. I don't have a link. I know he has a free 7-day trial on that. And that's just like, but I don't have that right there. But Jirius is mainly the guy for that, man. He'll walk you through step by step. We got videos like that in the academy too. We show you guys how to get them under contract. But that's not my expertise, man. It never has been really. I know how to I just put one under contract the other day. They're not that hard. But I don't know what you're struggling with. It's a piece of paper. It's a contract. You put down parcel number, you put down the address, you put down how much you're going to pay, you put down how much the earnest money is, you put down a closing date. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Don't get a super complicated contract. And so I guess I'm trying to understand, what is it that you're struggling about in that process? Is it talking to people? Is it understanding what to offer? Or could you go a little bit more in detail about that?
Nate, I do have that link if you want me to drop it in the chat for Wholesale Burr, if that's what were you referring to?
For the
7 days.
well, no, because we're gonna let them come on a call Thursday at 12 o'clock.
Got it.
Just let them come on a call Thursday at 12 o'clock, and if they have any questions for Jirius, they can ask him about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you for that, though.
Next question we have is from Ricky, and he's asking how much the mentorship is.
Just depends on what you're looking for and what you need. If you guys are interested in hearing more about the mentorship, just comment, call below, and we'll have somebody from our team get on call with you and go over that and make sure it's a good fit for you. Because if it's not a good fit for you, man, we don't, we'll tell you like, hey, man, this isn't, you're not ready for this yet.
We have another question from Sylvia B. She said, what do you do if you bought property 10K at auction, but the property will cost 70K to fix? In the area, the comps for sale are low, like 75, top 80K. What choices do I have?
I mean, math ain't mathing. The math ain't working. Sell it off and bang it off and don't buy in that area no more. You're going to buy it for 10 grand. You're going to take all these chances and put 70 in it, and it's worth 80 when you're done. You got 80 in it. I mean, that's like going to the gym and working out all day and you're still fat. I mean, for me, that's why when I go to the gym, I just go to the steam room and sauna. Because I know I ain't gonna go there. But look, that doesn't make sense. If an area is worth $70,000 in 2024, that is a declining market. It's the worst possible place you could buy. Because what do you think it's going to be worth in 10 years? Nobody's moving in that area. There's high crime. There's bad schools. There's no jobs. There's entitlement. Nobody's going to move there. So those areas there you want to stay away from. Remember, you're building a business. You can be a philanthropist when you become wealthy, but you can't do it on the way there.
We have a question from Grant McConnell. He said, what about, I think this is basically when you're showing the filters for Deal Machine. He said, what about owner absentee? Do you ever have problems with people moving out after sale?
I mean, look, I've had every kind of problem you could think of. I've had people kill themselves in my units. I've had people do drive-by shootings on grandmas. I've had everything you could think of. People die in my units. I mean, yeah, if I have to take on a unit and I have to deal with getting a tenant out of there, I'm going to want a discount. I'm going to put in there, you responsible to get this tenant out. And if that closing, it's a tenant in there, I'm going to say, hey, man, this wasn't a deal. They're going to say, well, I just can't get it out. I'm going to say, well, look, give me 5,000 off and I'll deal with that. Or give me 10,000 off, I'll deal with that, right? I'll probably go in there if they give me $10,000 off. And I'll probably go in there and I ain't gonna tell you guys what I probably do, but it'll probably involve some snakes going in that property and seeing if they want to leave. I'm just kidding, y'all. But look, you just talk to them. Hey, I need you out of my property. It's my property. You ain't got no lease. I mean, I had somebody that was squatting in one of my properties, and I live in Ohio. We don't do that. Like, that's not squatting here. It's called breaking and entering, right? It's my property. It's not your property. I need you to go. If you need some help and you need me to help you get placed, man, I got some shelters I can call. I can get you hooked up, but you can't be around my property. It's my property. So it depends on the state. There's different state laws, and some of the states out here are states that I would probably not, or cities I would not invest in just because you can't underwrite. When I say underwrite, like I can't underwrite a business plan because I don't know with certainty what's going to happen. So what state's it in? If it's a state like Ohio, I don't mind dealing with the tenant because I know the process. But you got to understand the process or have somebody on the team who does. And I got a buddy of mine that's actually the president of my New York group, and his name's Rob, and he's an attorney. And he joined my mentorship, and he's crushing it, multimillionaire. And he makes his money doing real estate. And he understands all that. So when people come in and there's a problem with New York City and eviction laws, Rob understands how to help people out through that. I don't understand the New York laws, but he does. So we have people in our private group that are in every city across the country, 2,600 people that are in there. And they know. So you got these local city groups and you just message in there and say, hey guys, I need an eviction attorney, or I need to talk to somebody about the process before I buy here. Because we have people that live in California that buy in Ohio, or live in, Ohio that buy in Florida. Like, people buy all over based off their preference. So first, it's understanding the laws in the city.
Grant has another question. He said, I have 6 to 4 acres raw, and he gave the zip north of Dallas. Is comps around 50K per acre, and I need to sell to fund DSCR loan. Should I just throw in Zillow? That's what he's asking.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know, brother, because I can't give you like a simple answer. Because for me, when I hear land, and you're saying I think it's worth 50, like, okay, can you go rezone it and it's worth $1 million? Because I got a buddy of mine that does that. So for me, it's not a simple answer as what do I do? Because, well, what if there's a highway coming? What if we go to the Texas Department of Transportation and find out what's going on 2 years from there, right? So I'm going to dig deeper and I'm going to say, what's going on here? What is the land use code? I'm going to call down to the city, say, hey, what's going on out here? Do you have any plans out here? What are your plans out here? So I'm going to dig a little bit deeper before I just decide to make a decision on something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you put a pray emoji in the chat, so I think that helped him a little bit.
Yeah, Grant, call down to the city tomorrow, man. Call to the Economic Development Department and say, hey, I got this land out here. Is the city interested in working with me? Are you guys interested in doing affordable housing? Do you have any grants? Are you guys looking to rezone this anytime soon? What is your master plan? The city has a master plan, and they know exactly what they want to do with your piece of property. They already know what they want it to be. And they're going to tell you, hey, man, we want that to be an airport. You might say, oh, man, hey, what I got to do to get in on the airport action? And they might say, you know what? We got that zone. That's going to be a residential community, or it's going to be a strip mall. It's going to be medical. And then you say, well, can I look at those plans? Yeah. It's public record. They'll show it to you.
We have one last question from Paul Corrales, and he's asking how much is the course, and he also asked what would be the least amount of money he needs to start into real estate.
Man, the course is going to be different depending on what you need, right? And if you want to hear more about that and see if it's even a fit for you, just comment, call below. But how much do you need to start? It's not money. It's knowledge. Because even if you have money and you don't know what to do with it, you're really just a consumer, right? And so first thing we got to do is get you to understand the difference between thinking like an investor and thinking like a consumer. I had this guy named Jeremy Hughes that came to our conference in 2023. And he drove through we had a conference, we had about 500 people at it. And he drove down to Cincinnati, and he didn't have money for a ticket. He got in our mentorship, and I met him. And you know Jeremy Hughes? Have you met him, Val?
I met him, but I know who he is for sure.
Matt, what's up, brother? Matt just entered the room, man. How you doing, Matt? And but Jeremy told me when I met him that night, because he was up there, he volunteered, so we gave him a ticket and come and volunteer to help at the registration desk. And he said, man, I told my wife the only thing I needed to do was to get into this mentorship and it was going to change my life. So he had conviction and he was hungry. He drove through the night and I asked him, I said, well, where are you staying at tonight, man? He said, Nate, I'm sleeping in my car. Right? Come on, man. I think by March, that was September of 23. By March of this year, he was a millionaire. Right? Why? Because he was hungry. He took the knowledge in. He met some people at the conference that invested with him, gave him money. And he already had a skill set because he was already an entrepreneur in a way, but a struggling entrepreneur. But him starting to understand the numbers and everything is what really allowed him to scale really quick. And so he didn't need any money. It's easier with money. It is. But I would equate it to saying, well, how long will it take you to get a six-pack, Nate? Well, I mean, it depends on how hard I want to work at it, right? I may never get one. But if I really want to go put that work in, I could probably get a six-pack in about 8 months, right? And I can go from double chin to six-pack in 8 months. So why can't you go from broke to a millionaire? Just how hard you want to work, how much effort you want to put in. And that's the truth, man. That's the truth. And so don't think about it as money's holding you back. Money's not holding you back. Knowledge is holding you back. So again, man, I want to thank all you guys for jumping on here, man. I love all you guys and girls, man. I just want you to have the same financial freedom that I was able to discover through the Burr method. And like I said, Michelle, today, can you share that message again that she said? Did you guys see what she put up here earlier? This is our private group here too, by the way, guys. People post like this all the time. But this is the powerful stuff here, man. Right? Her and her husband. Today is not a normal closing day. Today, December 10th, 2024 at 11 a.m., we became millionaires. Come on, man. That's beautiful. And guess what? There will be another one in there next week. I would say there will be another person that closes on their first deal in there tomorrow. We got something called the Millionaires Club. And I mean, why? Because we got a bunch of them. I'm going to be starting something called the Billionaires Club next. And I know that may sound crazy to you guys, but you know, I know how to become a billionaire. I don't really have a desire to do it at my age in life. I just want to enjoy watching you guys win and watching my kids win and really teaching you guys, man, because I know that if I can help you, whether you get our mentorship, whether you get our free videos, whether you just come on here and ask advice, doesn't really matter. I know that if I can help you change your life, that's not going to just change your life. That's going to change your kid's life. So again, just want to thank you guys for coming on here. Val, thank you for coming in. And man, love you guys, man. Y'all have an amazing day. I'll see you guys next week.
No worries. Bye, Nate. Bye, everybody.
Yep.
Have an
All right, later, y'all.